Autism is a spectrum. That means people can display a variety of behaviors that might seem off-putting with societal standards at first. But as one looks more closely into them, you begin to understand just why people are doing it. And some of those talents can be a big contributor towards the arts.
When you are doing art, especially music, what type of emotions are you going through?
Lots of things: happiness, sadness, joy, sometimes a bit of anger at some of the stressful life events I have experienced. Lots of emotions. I find it to be an effective way to relieve stress and to express myself in a different form. I was diagnosed with autism at almost 2.5 years of age. Life with autism is pretty unique, as I find it. Sometimes my habits might be a bit off with the societal standards, but other times my unique traits are thought to be valuable. For example, my love of music and film, although it may annoy others, I find it to be a gift.
Hello.
It's Pale Phil. I
That's
really
good.
like the concept of the unlikely hero, you know, and I think that has a strong message for me anyway, just because maybe it's because where I work, but there's a lot of unlikely heroes out there, or,
Yes.
you know, and Pale Phil is, you know. If people go to a particular service and they have arts programming as an option, or you're working with a counselor or a therapist and you're talking to them and you find out from this person that they are interested in creative process, or maybe they're interested in playing guitar, or maybe they like to write poetry, and you start to talk to them and you find out about that person, that that's something that they like to do. So instead of focusing on that person's deficits or the things that they don't have, it's like, well, what do you have? What strengths do you have? And then you take those strengths and you build on them. So you would encourage that person to continue to pursue that. Or if someone came into an organization and you're offering arts programming as an activity, is arts making therapeutic? And I would say, yes, it's therapeutic in that people get an opportunity to engage in a process that can be really satisfying and joyful. And I think in that process, they can start to identify themselves as creative beings instead of whatever the label is.
Just keep coloring. So the whole piece is covered, okay? And think of your word, think of your feeling while you're doing it.
We've had a partnership with Willow Springs for about 4 years now, and they're fantastic. They've been incorporated throughout Tuesday art programs as well as in our garden and throughout the rest of the facility as well. Our art program, I find, it brings the most people, and you see the diverse group that comes in, from people who are able to come independently to people who need support. It's a great program that just includes everyone, whether it's a scribble on a paper or like this fantastic Mona Lisa style art. They're so proud of what they've done and accomplished, and you can see that. You can see it on the smile on their face, how proud they hold up their art piece to show you, the way they express how they've drawn something or painted something. It's wonderful.
At March of Dimes, our art program, we get 20 to 40 people every week. It's amazingly well attended program, and that's all adults with any disability, but there are a large group of people who come who have intellectual disabilities or autism that are attending the programs. We have actually documented growth in employment skills, in socialization, in being able to express enjoyment. You see this creative element that, we just find so many creative people who are often outside of what people might say is the normal stream, and see these incredible pieces of art being created. It's just been fantastic, and we just want to keep doing it.
It's beautiful. There was one particular class where there was a autistic young man in the class, and the sense from the time I went in, I'm absolutely amazed at the fact that this young man, when I went in, he was sort of separated, was on his own from the rest of the class. When I got into the movement, and specifically when I brought in one of my drums, at first there was a sense that what I was doing was overstimulating for him. And it was clear a couple of times he just had this meltdown because it was overstimulation. And what I did was I got down on the floor and I gave him the drum, and I just left it there. And I said I needed someone to help me if they could play the drum and then take part in the movement. And he responded. In fact, he performed with the rest of the class. It's like sharing that right now. It's almost like I get tears in my eyes. It was incredible to see him respond like that. I think we all have a disability, one way or the other. Some are more visible than others, but everybody does. So how do we come together in this class to dance? And I have found the response really positive.
And I think often art fits in with some of the behaviors that some autistic people have. So, and it's a benefit. So if you like to do repetitive patterning, you can design fabric, you can make incredible pieces of art. We did a very simple one at March of Dimes just with printing off the end of a toilet paper roll, and the pieces of art that were created with the colors and the patterning were amazing, and people wanted to do that, and it quickly knew how to do it and set their own composition, and they were fantastic. And somebody who loves one image, and so they work at it and they create it over and over again. It becomes a brand, and it becomes something they do so well that it just fits the commercial market for an art product. So I think it relaxes the person with autism to be able to do what they want to do. So it's a win-win. I've met several individuals who could be creating art as a career. They are artists, they are emerging artists, and we want to support them so that their art is out there, is purchased. We've been working on trying to get a mentorship program going with professional artists, mentoring young emerging artists, and so that they can, and not just them, that their family, their support workers, the organizations that they deal with can recognize that they could make a living, selling their art. Their art is incredible.
I love music. I have considered, I'm serious about considering the sciences for a career. I've realized this since secondary school, therefore I find it suitable for me to keep music as a lifelong hobby.